We would like to modify Model 5-1 to be more realistic. First, we will change the call arrivals to be a non-stationary sum process with piecewise constant rate function. This is because the call arrival rates are different in each hour as shown in Table 5-2. Next, we assume that the sales staff size varies over day according to a schedule. We also assume that tech support staff are partially cross-trained. Some of them are able to handle 2 or 3 prototypes as shown in the table. We should try to use cross-trained staff last. Each of 11 tech staff has a work schedule. To make things more complicated, we find out 4% of tech calls cannot be handled by staff immediately and need further research. After research, the same tech staff should call the customer back. This call will need a trunk line for a while. According to the previous description, we update the workflow. The red modules are changed, the blue modules are new. We need to check the list of resources. Sales and trunk line are already there, but we need to change the sales resource type to based on schedule. We also need to add 11 tech staff by their names because each has a different schedule. That's a total of 13 resources. Each person has a cost per hour. This is to calculate the personnel cost of the call center. We need to create a schedule for sales staff and 11 schedules for tech staff. We can also create an arrival schedule to handle the non-stationary person arrival process. This is the arrival schedule to handle the non-stationary person arrival process. In order to organize the resource in a better way, we can organize the tech staff in sets. There are 5 tech staff for product 1, 5 for product 2, and 6 for product 3. In each set, the most versatile person is placed at the bottom. Tech calls will try to seize a tech staff in the set order. In addition, we want to create a counter set. This set has 10 members. Each member counter will record how many calls are rejected in each hour. This is an indicator of how good service the call center provides. These counters are defined in the statistics data module in the advanced process panel. We modify the first create module to use the arrival schedule. We also remove the entire arrival cutoff section. We delete total WIP variable because we can use the arena building function NR of trunk line to know how many lines are busy. Consequently, those assigned modules used for total WIP can be deleted. Here we show how to use record module to record the number of rejected calls. The set index needs to be set during runtime. T_now is the current simulation clock. A_int is an arena mathematics function to truncate decimal towards 0. As a result of this equation, any minutes between 0 and 59 will result in index 1. Any minutes between 60 to 119 will result in index 2, and so on. For tech calls, we add assign modules for each prototype to define entity type, entity picture, and a new attribute tech call type for routing in the back office research model. For tech call process, we need to choose resources from a set of available staff in the set order. we need to remember which one was selected as safe attribute tag agent index. This is used in the back office research model. We add a new group of modules for the back office. With decide module, we determine the 4% of calls that need further investigation. Then we will need to release the trunk line for now. Then the tag staff needs to work on the tag issue. This is modeled with a delay block. Remember, it is equal to store, delay, onStore modules. We use a one-dimensional array to keep the number of return calls in process, sorted by the product type. The index is using an entity attribute called tag call type. This was defined in earlier assign modules. The decide module is a three-way bicondition. The return calls are sorted on entity type, which was defined in earlier assign modules. Once the return call type is determined, we need to ask the original tag person to make this callback. This sys module will make sure the original tag person is selected by referring to the correct set index, tag agent index. This index was a safe attribute in the resources subdialog of the process module. The tag person needs to seize a trunk line to make the call. Again, it has higher priority. The delay is using an expression returned tag time. The trunk line was released when process is finished. We then need to release the specific tag person. To check work in process, we decrease tag return WIP for each call type. Remember, we are using a one-dimensional array to keep the number of return calls in process sorted by the product type. The index is using an entity attribute called tag call type. This was defined in earlier assign modules. We have seen the 10 counters earlier. Besides, there are 4 dstats. There are time average value for WIP. The back office research WIP is simply the number in the storage, NSTO. The total tag call for a particular product types is the summation of regular tag call and the tag return call after back office research. We want to revise the animation to match the new model. It takes efforts to create animations, but it is worth it because it improves presentations and helps debugging. We may check and run the model. The initial results show that most rejected calls are in hours 5 to 7. However, we should run more replications to get better statistical results.